October, Thanksgiving long weekend here in Canada, and this is probably going to be the last deck update. Maybe there'll be one more. You can see the pots. I've taken a lot of stuff out. Still have some chives. That's an oak tree that I planted from an acorn. My parents have an oak tree that they planted from an acorn in the backyard in Sudbury, and that's a oak tree from that tree, which is kind of neat. So the herbs are still in there. There's some sage and thyme and parsley, rosemary. That is the basil. I harvested a bunch of it. There was a pot full, so I've cut a whole bunch of branches down and they're drying downstairs. Tomato plant. You can see there's one tomato on it. I don't know if it'll ripen in time, but we're gonna give it a shot and just see what happens. Flower baskets are looking a little sad now, but there's still a few calendula blooms, and I don't have the heart to rip them out knowing that there's still stuff flowering. See, we've got some nice nasturtiums there, some nice bright colors. And this vine, this stuff was Morning Glory, but they're all done now. Those are just the seed heads that are on there. Bird feeder. Again, there's some nasturtiums and calendula in that pot, so I didn't have the heart to take it out yet. And hopefully I won't blind you here, but there's still quite a few peppers. Some are changing now, some are still green. And I've gotten a ton of peppers off of there. I'll flash to it, but downstairs I have them hanging, and there's over 100 peppers that I've gotten off of these 3 plants, which I started back in January inside. And down here, we've got the Swiss chard. Never really did a lot, but you know, I've had a few leaves off of it here and there. The chicory I cut back the other day, it was a monster, and you can see it's sending out new shoots already. Same thing over here. That was only about 4 days ago that I cut it back. And then we'll scoot down. I planted some arugula. So arugula is a nice cold crop. It can tolerate the cold. So I'm getting that started, and hopefully, you know, end of October, beginning of November, I'll be able to have some nice arugula in my omelets in the morning. Spinach, again, doing well. Spinach looks nice, and it's a cold crop too. It likes the cooler weather, so. And more arugula. And then over to the planter box. So I pulled out the tomato plants and the beans. There were beans climbing up the wall and stuff, but all that is gone now. I've pulled them all out. There are some beans in here that sort of self-sowed. I don't know if you can zoom in. But yes, there's a bean seed right in the middle there. So these guys just kind of sowed themselves. So I was like, well, let's just see what happens. Got some flowers on them. They're climbers, as you can tell. So maybe I get a few beans out of there. So there's just the carrots left, and I'm gonna leave them in a little longer. You know, it's kind of warmer up here on the deck, so potentially I could be picking carrots in November, maybe December, we'll see. And that's kind of it. That's the deck update. Thanks for watching. Have a great Thanksgiving long weekend.